So what are the best 5-day mass gain programs? You've heard me talk about how old school bodybuilders built their physiques using 3, 4, or 5-day basic splits. Things like full body, upper and lower, torso and limbs. These are all great templates, but the question is, which one is best for you and how many days should you be training? Today we're going to focus on my personal favorite and why I feel it's the best way if your goal is to fully maximize your mass gain training. And that setup is based on a 5-day split. Now, can you make great progress on a 3 or 4-day routine? Absolutely. And if you're a ranked beginner, there might not really be a need to go to 5 days. But if you're intermediate or even advanced, it's going to take more volume in the gym. And ideally, 5 days is required to get the job done in most cases. This is even something that I still do to this day, after training for almost 20 years when the goal is mass gaining. So which 5-day mass gain training program is right for you? Let's jump in and look at the different options. The first and most basic of them all is the upper and lower split. Now, most people, when they think of upper and lower splits, they assume this is only to be done 4 days per week, as you would hit the upper body twice and the lower body twice. That template works, but most of these programs were written for strength athletes or general fitness. If you're a bodybuilder and you want to enhance your physique, it might not make sense to stick with such a standard protocol. For example, if you build some powerful legs with a system like this and your lower body is disproportionately larger than your upper body, you might need to do some additional volume for your upper body, especially if you're not making progress in that area. And if you're following an upper-lower split, adding in additional sets to a session that you train the entire upper body, it can definitely become extremely long, and generally, body parts you hit later in the session get really poor work done. The solution to this problem is adding in additional volume on a third upper body session. So an upper-lower split that's upper body specific could be Monday, Wednesday, and Friday upper body, and Tuesday and Thursday lower. This trains the upper body 3 times per week and the lower twice per week, while still allowing for 2 complete rest days per week. You can also get creative with your weekly schedule and take a rest day midweek and one on the weekend if that suits your lifestyle better. This setup can also obviously be tailored to someone with weaker legs by doing the opposite and training the lower body 3 times per week and the upper 2. Now, what if we have a specific weak muscle group? Let's say arms, and your upper body as a whole is developed well, but arms aren't just quite up to par with the rest of your physique. Should you still follow this split? The best option in this case would be to use split number 2. With this setup, the arms will be trained directly on their own day. Legging muscle groups should be trained first in the session as well as on their own day if possible. So in this setup, we would want to train the entire upper body, including arms, on Monday and Thursday. We would train the entire lower body on Tuesday and Friday. And then on Saturday, we would specifically go in for a 5th day. And on this session, it would be specifically an arm training session. This allows you to hit the upper body and lower body twice, and then really add in additional volume specifically for the biceps and triceps on their own day. This setup can work for any body part as well. For an example, if it's your back you're trying to bring up, you can make Saturday's workout a 3rd back session on its own day. The last 5-day split I like to use is if somebody doesn't have a specific body part they're focusing on bringing up, but they might be strong, training with a ton of volume, or both, and their sessions are running long. The goal is to simply cut those long training sessions in half and adding them to day 5. For example, if you're hitting upper body and lower body on a 4-day split, but your upper body sessions are running long, let's say you're performing 30 total working sets for the upper body session on both Monday and Thursday. You can cut out 10 sets from each session on Monday and another 10 sets from Thursday and move those 20 sets to Saturday. So instead of doing 60 total working sets for upper body over 2 sessions at 30 and 30, now you have those same 60 sets done per week, but over 3 days at 20 sets each. Keep in mind, this is not the same as option 1, where you're adding in additional work, but in this case, you're cutting down on session length and moving them to another day, getting more quality work in and creating shorter sessions. This is, in my opinion, where 5-day splits outshine the typical 3 to 4 day old school mass gain programs. The stronger you get, or the more advanced you are, the more volume you might need, and session length ultimately gets longer as you progress. To keep it time efficient, a 5th day works great. Now you can make the argument by saying, why not go to 6 days and make each session even shorter? In theory, that sounds great, but the fact is, adding in additional days always impacts your recovery. Even if it's the same exact work done for the week, but you can cram it into 5 sessions with 2 full rest days versus 6 with 1 rest day, recovery will always be better with more total rest days. I found over the years that 5 days really seems to be the upper limit when it comes to mass gain. The only time more than that can be beneficial is during a fat loss or contest prep phase where muscle retention is the main focus. If you've personally used a similar 5-day mass gain setup to build muscle, comment down below with your results. And if you want to build your physique using old school bodybuilding training methods, check out my mass gain program in the description. Or if you want to work with me directly, get your custom plan below. All right guys, that's it for the video. If you want to see more of the best original bodybuilding content just like this, make sure to hit subscribe.